Alrighty, Doc here from North America, TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday, and it is. And what are we seeing this morning? I guess the biggest question of all is, how this all is going to play out. We get news in about another 15, 20 seconds. So it'll be very interesting to see how the numbers come out. They're thinking like if it's 150,000 jobs, then all of a sudden, the markets will roar on the upside equity-wise. And vice versa. Let's see if we can see what the news is. It's starting to come through the doorway as we speak. There we are. Whoop. Let's go back to that again. There we go. There we go. Now we're live. Alrighty. So I have the dollar index up there this morning. Giannis has been saying, tune into the dollar index. So we'll go with the dollar index anymore since let's see, on J4X here is the index itself, 91, 101.91. On Chicago Quant we have the, what do you call it, the ETF. It's the stock, the equity side of it. So let's see what the numbers look like this morning here. And I'm looking at what the stock indices doing. Let's see where the stock indices are too at the same time. And let's see. We're going to go to there. Oh, not right there. Right there. Let's see what the stock indices are doing. The S&P is down a little bit. Still pressing down. So the numbers, jobs expected at 325. And it should be spilling out any second now because it's past a minute now. Okay, there we go. Let me just take a look at this. See if we can. I'm trying to see the numbers here. Let's see. There we go. Going to take a look at some of these numbers. And it looks like 390,000 jobs added in May. Okay, so in the end result is that's not exactly what we were hoping for, but I was hoping for it to be down so it would give us some excitement. That's kind of like the cool thing. But no, it's let's see, what else can we say about that? Oh, well. That is it. We've shown the numbers. Effect is there already spike up in stocks. Yeah, they bounced up a little bit. Nothing major. Let me just show you real quick. The Dow was down like 180 points. Now it's down 60 points. So, yeah. But the number was larger. Labor participation was at 62.3. And let's see where we can go right there. There we go. Titus, 390. Hey, Titus. Yeah. So stocks have moved back up from their lows. Let's put it that way. But they're not plus. They were really... Okay. I'm just trying to get a feel for the numbers itself. All right. Anyhow, there's the let me just show you the S&P right here on an intraday basis. The news came out right there. So it spiked up from the news. Went from 4,145 to 4,160. So it moved 15 points. And the Dow moved up, maybe about 100 points. It's from its lows, maybe 150 points. Let's see. There it is right there. You can see the news came out. It was right there. It was at, let me just shrink this down a little bit. There we are. So Dow was trading at 33,114, and it moved to 33,140. Is that right? So it's only like a 40-point move, and then another over the next couple minutes, it ran up to minute and a half. It ran up to 175 from 114, which was the close there. Or no, 41. I'm sorry, 141. So it moved up about 150 points. That makes sense. Okay. And so that's the action. It jumped and rolled over, and now we're pushing back down again. I guess I'll take apart this more as time goes on, but I don't see anything particular out of it. There's no real surprise. That's what the markets, I think, were hoping for, is a little more surprise. They want a weaker employment so they can start to anticipate a rally into the from the recession. We're on the edge of a recession, in a recession, and so they got this type of attitude of try to anticipate the market. That's what it always is, anticipate the market. But average earnings and unemployment rate are below forecast. Yeah, that's why it lifted up. Average hourly earnings month over month, 0.03% versus 0.4%. Non-farm payrolls, let's see, changed 390,000 from 325. Unemployment at 3.6 from 3.5. Yeah, unemployment moved up just a little bit. I don't really, let's do this way. Let's take a look at our daily and weekly, and that tells us a different story in the sense of, you can see we are through the weekly right here, and you can see we've been in a daily buy since back down in here. So they've already been buying this, anticipating it. Now the question is this big long drive down an A, and this is like a B up, and we're wondering if it was going to go challenge this area here the last couple of days and then roll over. So if the numbers had been below 150 or right around 175, markets would have rallied. And because it was weak, it did rally up from its lows, but did not put it into a plus. And now when you go back and look at the intraday of it right there, you can see we're starting to drift back down to this area here. And when we put all the windows back together again, here's the S&P over here. If we tighten that up, is it back down to, it's not down to it yet. This is where it started from the news. Let's see. Same situation with the Dow. It started from right there. The Tech 100 right there. So they're just sloppy. I don't see a lot of conviction. It is the summertime. It gets sloppy like this. They'll find a way to pop this when no one's watching. That's what they'll try to do. Our work will probably throw us into a daily buy and a weekly buy somewhere along the line, going into the next month, and then next thing you know is the market will pop from maybe they'll challenge one more time low, something like that, or fail at the low, that type of thing. So at this point you can see that the buying is starting to come in when it comes to the started last week. We started, starting to, where's it at? Let's go back to it here. Last week we really started you can see the blue line here. Where's it at? Right there. Jumping up ahead. It was supporting the time manifold. The green line ripped, almost got into a daily buy. A weekly buy last week. This week's been kind of quiet. I keep on thinking it wants to go after these highs here, but maybe they need to take the daily down one more time and then a bounce up for the last leg on the upside like that. And when we go over to the dollar, let's take a look at the dollar against the Swiss. We see the dollar index itself. Where's that mouse at? There it is. So the dollar index is just kind of quiet. It's just holding up very firm there. Over here, it's trying to roll over. You can see the red here, but the green line is still moving up. Let's take a look at it through the Swiss. Or we can take it. Let's look at it through the euro. There's the euro. You can see the euro is being pushed down a little bit. The dollar lifting up a little bit. I think the Swiss is in a daily buy for a second day, something like that. Yeah, this is a third day now, and it's moving up a little bit here. I guess this is the one I'm watching. Will this afternoon, will they find a way to bring it back up? Will there be more pressure on the dollar on the upside? I would think so. Jordan, Janos, Titus, happy Friday. Yeah, indeed. It is a TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. No 3-day weekend. Too bad. That's pretty much the action of it all. Let's see what they're doing. The cable. Cable slid into a sell there yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it's been in a sell for a couple of days. But it hasn't gone down. It's gone up. And now they're trying to press it down a little bit in here. And the weekly is trying to get into a buy. One moment it's plus, one moment it's negative. It goes back and forth. They're just still talking about the employment. They're saying there's a lot of cross currents, or lots of things that are going on event-wise. And when we go back over and look at the intraday chart, there we go. Now we are below where it started from. So the news came out right here, and we're back to it. Over on the, where's it at? Let's see, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, same situation. It started here, and now we are lower. So we don't really see a lot. And then Tech 100, same situation, playing with where they started from. I don't really see a lot of true action in the sense of it exciting everything and changing the market complexion or characteristic at the moment. Let's see what cryptos are doing. Last I looked, I saw cryptos, the Bitcoin was down, which was kind of a tad of a surprise. We went into a sell yesterday with the bar up, with the price up a little bit. And today they've taken it down to yesterday's lows. And where did our weekly go? Where did the weekly go? Let's see. Instrument. Let's see. I don't even see our lines. What happened there? I don't see the. Oh, there it is. There's a sell there. That's right. It was flirting with the buy last I looked. I guess we have to go fix this now. I mean, every time you turn around, there's something. Let's see where crypto is on the weekly. But you can see the daily is pressing down again. All right, crypto. Just want to see where it's trading at the moment. They're saying it's like a status quo report. But in the end result is it's not exciting anybody enough to lift. We still have plenty of time today. I mean, we don't even have the U.S. market open yet. So that's probably like the crutch of it all, really, when you think about it. I mean, the U.S. market's not even open. They're banging it around a little left and right, that type of thing. Now Dow's down 200 points. Let's put it up on there like that so you can see the intraday. And that kind of measures it all. Now we've given up any type of bottoming they tried to do, and now we are sitting at new lows of the day. All the indices are moving down, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Just gonna go. I guess it was Elon Musk this morning came out, said something about he sees, I don't know, bad times ahead or something like that. Laid off 10% of his, I guess, office management? I don't know, something like that. You never know with him. There's always something brewing there. All right, now let's check this out. This is the Bitcoin. And then okay, there it is. Let's see. Now Let's go over to Bitcoin again. I want to see where the Bitcoin is. I see the daily. I want to see where the weekly is. There we go. Let's see, cancel. That's the end of this week. Yep. So we have basically another week in the sell. The cryptos can't get out of their own way. And there it is right there. Just stays in that slow, steady burn, I guess you could say. Let's see, Jordan. Okay. So Titus says, hello there. Okay, so Titus says, who does not see bad times ahead? You know, I think that's a good question. I kind of think the gold market wants to lift. Let's check the gold market out all of this too. I think the gold market wants to lift going into next year. You can see they're selling that down today after the nice pop we had yesterday. You know, I think that, let's see what silver looks like. Yeah, silver is trying to hold up, but it's just off a little bit. You can see it's red. You know, it's not that I think that there's, how did you phrase it? Who does not see bad times ahead? Yeah, there's no doubt we're in bad times right now. It's not as much as ahead, is that we're already there. You know, looks like we have a good shot at a second quarter in the minus, which makes it an official recession. So yeah, there's pressure. And is it like, are we getting worse and worse and worse? In some ways, yes. In other ways, no. We're actually getting better. You know, it's an election year. It's really hard for markets to move and politicians to do anything on an election year. And now we are 4.5 months, 5 months away from, you know, was it July, August, September, October. So we're basically 5 months away, under 5 months now to the election. So, yeah, I want to say, Titus, you're right. You know, bad times, yeah. But in 6-7 months, markets could be very, very happy with the way things are. You know, we'll have to see. I think things are going to get better. And at the same time, I think that we're going to see, let me just phrase this correctly. I think we're going to see better times ahead coming, but not now and not in the next like 3 or 4 months. I think it's going to happen like going into the 5th month. It all comes down to, you see how we just watched the unemployment number come out, and we were looking for, you know, like 330 or something like that, or 350, and it was 390. And well, I'm watching for how many seats flip in the House of Representatives, and right now the anticipation is we could get up to about 70 seats. If we get 75 seats, the House of Representatives will be veto-proof for the first time since the U.S. Civil War of 1861. Okay, that is a phenomenal thing. The Republicans will actually have the power that the media tells you that they always have when they don't. Okay, and we're going to see something. So it's going to be like the way the unemployment was. The real race now is, there's a lot of people out there thinking they're going to see 65, 75 seats flipped. You know, the standard opinion at the moment is 35. Okay, we get 75, 80 seats flipped, we will have veto proof. Mr. Biden will not be able to stop Congress from anything. They'll be able to override presidential executive orders. They will be able to do all kinds of things. They could force us, you know, starting the pipeline. They could force, start building the pipeline, continuously building the pipeline. They could force drilling, something that normally, you know, you can't get away with. We've never seen this type of power. The media keeps on telling you that the Republicans have had that power. They have not. They haven't even gotten close to it. Never even close. But so I want to agree with you, Titus. Yeah, into the future, times should look bad, and they do for the next 3-4 months. That type of thing, 5 months. But I think after that election, if you see more than 75 seats, you're going to see a stock market rally like the way when Trump became president. It's going to be a rocket shot, even with the circumstances that are going on now. Because for the first time in 160 years, the Republicans are going to have the power that the media claims we get every so often, which we have not. So I'm just telling you, I agree with you for the next 3 or 4 months, definitely bad times. But the election comes November 3rd or 4th or something like that. And that's 5 months away, basically. And so that's where we're at. Okay? Yeah, they'll be more trapped than they've ever been trapped before. Every time the media tells you that the Republicans have this or that, you have a Republican president, they barely have enough to get anything legislation through. Maybe sometimes they have 5 or 10 seats more than the Democrats. Sometimes they have 15, 20 seats less. They pretend that they have the power when they don't. The media loves to do that. We're going to see, there's a potential here that we could see this. It was like 1994 where we took power for the first time in the House of Representatives in 1994, 14 years after Reagan. We took power in the House of Representatives for the first time in 50 years. We took control of the House. Not veto-proof, but just control in the House. And we had a balanced budget from it for a couple years under Newt Gingrich. We actually had a balanced budget. We haven't had a balanced budget since. Biden goes out there and tells people right now he's balanced the budget and he's cut the budget. He has not. He's increased it by $3 trillion. But when the media controls so much, you can hear all kinds of weird stories. So I'm there with you. I think I've made my point very clear. Matter of fact, that might become the title of this today. That is, who does not see bad times ahead? I think that could literally be our title today. And I think the bad times are over the next 3 months or so. 4 months. That type of thing. Because you know what? The money will know. They'll have a good feel. If they start to predict, not 35 seats like that's what they're predicting right now, but they start to get closer to my numbers of 65, 75 seats, money will come rushing into this market. Because if they get 70 seats or 75 seats, that would be incredible. That would put them up to almost veto-proof. You need a 2/3 majority to override a president. So, in other words, a 2/3 of, I think it's 425 seats, something like that. Let me see what the House is. I think it's 425 seats. How many seats in the House? And I'll be able to give you a good idea of what to watch for. How many? I think it's 425. 435 seats. Is it 435? 435 seats. Let's see. Okay. So 435 total. All right. So a 2/3 majority. So what you do is you take 435 and divide it by 4, and that comes out to 108. And I think a veto proof is 2/3, so 66%. I think that's how it is. 2/3. So you divide it by 3. Really, that's what it is. So 435 divided by 3. 290 will do it. 290. And if they pick up, they have like 215 now. If they pick up 75 seats, that does it. It puts it into that situation. More than that is it'll terrify some of these Democrats, and they'll vote with them once in a while. And so that's what I'm looking at. Now, obviously, it'll be positive no matter what, because they'll be stopping Biden very, consistently over the next 2 years. But they won't be able to change. They won't be able to create policy. They only will be able to stop policy. But if they pick up 75 seats, they can actually change policy. And that's something big people are not realizing. So, all right. Let's go on, take a look at all these things and see how the markets are moving around here now. Just take a quick look at the intraday again. You see, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 215. So they've kind of stalled out now. This is where it started before the news. It's down below it, trading below it, and so forth. All right, let's jump over to right there. You see, we looked at let's take a look at the Swiss again. We'll start off with the Swiss unless someone wants to see a particular product. So right there, Swiss is flirting with the upside for another day. This is the third day now on the buy. Where's that buy at? Right there. And over here on J4X, we'll show you the same thing. Right there. You see 3 days of green. So the pressure's on. Dollar being bought a little bit. I don't think they're, interest rates are about flat. They're not really going anywhere. So that's the pretty much the action we're seeing here today. Over in the euro, we saw that euro is being pressed down. Right there. Oh no, it's up now. Is it up? No, it's still down. So you can see right there, still going down. Still in a daily sell for a third day. But we're flirting with the weekly buy. So we're getting that action there. Is it release of the monthly U.S. employment data at 12:30 GMT. You can see that. Okay. 30 basis points. U.S. average hourly earnings 3 compared to expected 4. Non-farm payrolls 390. Beat the 325. U.S. unemployment rate goes to 3.6. So all kinds of weird numbers there. All right. You can see here just kind of dragging down. You can see that action there on the euro itself. And over here on Chicago, you can see the same situation minus the fact that it's in a sell for 3 days. And over here, it's trying to tell us to be in that sell. We're getting a green here at the moment. So there's the red that's the short, and it's doing all right. All right, from there we jump over to the cable. And there it is, the cable. Cable's kind of down a little bit. Same thing, 3 days of sell there. And the weekly it's fallen back underneath it again. So it doesn't seem to be able to get that longer term money, the week to week, month to month stuff. That money is not rushing into the market as much as it's been very firm and they've gotten up to the edge. All right, let's put it on the J4X. Gold down $9. Funny stuff. I really think, what I really think, I've been saying that, I've been really believing that we're going to see a better gold market. And the reason why? We're going to have so much control, we'll be able to stop the Fed from doing some of the stuff they're doing. That's what I see. And that's what I'm really hoping for, is a change of policy. And people are so frustrated here in the States over Mr. Biden and the Democrats. They can't steal enough votes. Let's put it that way. They can't steal enough votes. So, if you hear that Republicans took 300 seats, it is going to be as big a move as when Trump became president. It's just going to be massive. All right, from there, let's see, what do we got here now? We've got, there it is, there too, same thing, a little green there on the J4X with the cable. We've got a red and green dot going on right there. All right, from there we'll go over to the Turkish Lira. We'll look at the dollar Turkish Lira first. That thing has been marching. I understand Aragon. Is he really changing the way they spell Turkey? I saw where he wants to put instead of was it Turky? It's going to be Ity or something like that. I don't know. There's a story out there that he's trying to do something. We've been wondering what's going on there. Let's take a look at the dollar Turkish Lira right there. Still marching up. Doesn't seem to want to let go. Whatever he's doing, it is wrong. I can just tell you that. The currency is not letting go. It keeps on finding ways to climb up more and more and more. And that's not a positive thing. You know, the last thing they need is that currency to keep on lifting. I thought they had a policy. I thought they came up with a really solid policy. You know, they were going to stop the what do you call it? They were giving out puts so that if you had what do you call it? If you buy Turkish Lira, they were guaranteeing that you didn't have basic problems. You know, basically because you would be guaranteed that you would get your money back. Now something has changed, and whatever has changed is obviously, you can see it. It's just slowly, steadily climbing up, and up, and it doesn't seem to want to stop. And now what is that? Oh yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, so it's moving up, and I mean the dollar pairs trade to Turkish Lira has been in a buy now since mid-February, which is amazing. Now, when you look at Turkish Lira, Euro Turkish Lira, right there, you know, it's been following the ebb and flow pretty well. Kind of interesting. It was in a buy in March. You know, it went into a sell. Let's see if we can tighten this up a little bit more. Move it over. You can see let's just give this whole thing a recycle like that. So you can see here, you know, we went into in February. It went into the dollar Turkish Lira went into a buy there, and so did Euro. Then 2 weeks later, it went into the sell. And it climbed up, as you can see. Let's see if we can move this down a little bit like that. You can see it climbed up back in the buy here, and then it glided slowly down. The daily, I thought, was very accurate. That's what we like about the Turkish Lira, Euro Turkish Lira. It's a very accurate read to the actions of the market. Let's see, like that. And then bring it down. You know, it really read the market well. You know, it really did. But now we've gotten to this point where it's moving well beyond the range, and we're starting to go after all-time highs again. So, in other words, the all-time high is that line there at 21, and we're not seeing it right. Let's see if we can, right there. You can see it. You see how far away it is. It's heading for 18 now. And when it comes to the dollar Turkish Lira, put that on. There it is. The high, the 18 was the all-time high, and we're trading at 1650. You know, with the way this thing's climbing, we may see, you know, all-time highs in like 2 weeks, and that's really a surprise. Stagflation. That's what we're in right now. We really are in stagflation. It will be more difficult to cheat on this election. Oh, yeah, they've changed a lot of laws, the states. The states control the elections, and they've gotten lazy. And the Democrats realized it and, you know, stole basically the election. You could tell by the way all the bullet voting, what we refer to as bullet voting is when someone, let's say there's an election in a particular area, and all the Republicans win except for the top of the ticket. And you have this enormous amount of voting in reverse. And so that's what we refer to as bullet voting. So in other words, for some reason, all these massive votings against Mr. Trump came in at like 2 in the morning after the polls were closed. And then they went and claimed that, it was, it's okay. It was nothing wrong. So the proof is slowly happening. Congress will be able to clean that mess up, and that's on the federal level. But the states have already cleaned up all the problems. They really have. You can see how Georgia in the primary was. More votes for Republicans than there were for Democrats in the primaries last week. And more votes historically than ever before. So they've been hiding. They've been finding ways of getting rid of Republican votes. It will be more difficult to cheat on the election. The guy who did the Mules film said that more infos are coming up throughout the summer with stronger cheating evidences. Yeah, matter of fact, they just found 19,000 votes. Trump lost Arizona by, I don't know, like 11,000. They just found 19,000 votes totally illegal. It's like one person votes 19,000 times. Oh, I know what it was. They found that the mail-in ballots that came in, the machine wouldn't read them because they're not official. They're copies. That's what it was. And so, matter of fact, Trump just endorsed a third person in Arizona. This was in Arizona that happened. But Trump just endorsed somebody that I haven't even heard of. There was three people running. One of them was this guy, and Trump just endorsed him yesterday, claiming that this guy understands that the election was stolen. So anything, that's just part of the process. We'll see. In the end result is that it is what it is, and the voters will straighten it out in the end, and that's the most important thing of all. From there, we go over to the Canadian, and there is the Canadian, and you can see the Canadian has been moving down against the dollar, which means it's gaining in value, and the dollar is losing against that, and at the same time we're heading towards that 50 percentile right there, and we've been in a daily sell since up in here, and what else we got going on? We're back into the weekly on the sell side for a second week. Where's it at there? First week. It'll be first week in the sell. And the Canadian usually reflects gold and reflects oil, and it reflects other things that is not always paid attention to in the same fashion. So in other words, let's take a look at the oil market. Usually when oil is making money, gaining in value, that's usually a reason for the Canadian to be strong. And here we are at the top end of the range with oil. That's the front month. You can see we've taken out this high over here in March, and we're really moving along pretty well in here. And I guess that high was the war high, I guess the beginning of the war high, because this was a back month back then. And so you can see that over on J4X. We'll throw up Brent just to get a flavor for it. And there it is right there. Brent holding up pretty well, up in the 117s, 118s. They've tried to take it out. They've tried to digest that because Saudi Arabia said they were, or OPEC in general, is going to start pumping more oil to compensate for Russia. Now they didn't kick. Remember, I talked about that yesterday. They did not remove Russia from OPEC. They just automatically just started to allow members to produce more than their allotments. So that's going to be, that's going to help some stuff out. But what's confusing is why would it go up if they're going to add inventory? There's a lot of strong feelings around here in the States that we're going to see anywhere from 125 to 150 oil. And that is probably part of the process we're seeing right now. Then, let's see. From there, we take a look at gold. And gold is moving down now. Gold was up for the day. Now it's moving down. Went into the buy yesterday. Now it's going into the sell. I'm not sure what that malfunction is there. Let me just show you what it looked like this morning when we sent it out. They keep on changing data on us. There it is right there. And you can see we went into the buy yesterday, and now it's trying to move down today. And at this point, they have now really just started to smash it all together. And now we are heading down, and the daily's trying to turn down. The weekly's still holding up. We'll see there. All right, from there we go over to the South African Rand and see what they're doing with that. Now, let's see gold on here real quick too. There's gold. Still heading up. There is the South African Rand. And it's trying to fight its way down. It looks like it may have even taken out a low. Let's see. There it is right there. ZAR. Right there. Dollar South African Rand. They made a new low. They took out these lows, and now they're just sitting there. We'll see if they can do anything with that, especially with it trying to go up. That's why the South African Rand is trying to move up today, and it's actually up a little bit. And that's because gold is being pushed back down again. All right. Then from there, we go over to the Japanese yen, right there, and you can see this is still lifting up, going after these highs. We keep on thinking that it has the potential to go to 135, and now we are flirting with the weekly buy again. So it's just one sell, and then bam. So it went into the weekly buy down here in the 115s, gets up to 130 something. Gets into a sell here in the 127s or so, and sure enough, they're turning it up again. And that's probably a good indicator that there's more strength coming in. Again, that represents a stronger dollar. Interest rates have not really made any solid moves. There's the opinion that they're going to raise them another full percentage point, 2 halves in a row, which will put them at 1.75. I don't think we've seen a 2% interest rate since, I guess you could say, since 2008. So I don't expect a lot out of it. Now, that 1.75 could drive the 30-year up to like 3.5, 3 3/4, something like that. With inflation the way it is, you would think it would drive it up to about 8% or 9%, but nah. The Fed, as much as they claim yesterday that they're going to start reducing their balance sheet, I just think that they're just going to put it in another pocket somewhere else. We've heard retirees coming from the Federal Reserve, a few of them actually make the statement that they have, there's a third portfolio. We've heard that, and it's stuffed with stuff. It's stuffed with things like that they won't sell for 100 years. They call it the 100-year balance sheet. There's a third one out there. So it probably has Santander and Citibank and Merrill Lynch, and has all Exchequer, not Exchequer, the Lloyd's of London bonds, probably Deutsche Bank bonds. They're planning there's the rumor is constantly floating around that there is a third balance sheet that we don't see. That's why they refuse to be audited. All right, from there, we go over to the Mexican peso. There it is right there. Mexican peso playing with underneath that range bottom, not letting go. Do they benefit from all this in the United States? I would think so. They're an oil-producing country. Besides being an oil-producing country, they're next to the number one economy in the world. There's some real opportunity for them to benefit from all this action that we've been seeing. And so the The real gist of it all is the Mexican peso and the Canadian both are doing really well against the dollar. And we've talked about that. Location, 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 whereas the other currencies who have acted well, but nowhere near like the way these two have. They stayed inside their ranges. In this case here, it's actually trying to break out in the reverse side of the range. In other words, the lower it goes, the more valuable it is. All right. That finishes up our currencies for the day. Let's jump over to the energy market again. And if anybody wants to see anything, just shout it out. Now we saw there's the front month on crude. Let's put it up over here on J4X. We're at like the top end of the range. Right there. And now at the same time, let's take a look at the back month. The October month itself. And there it is right there. You see it's trying to march up to the 110 area. The high today is 109.53. So, and at the same time, let's put up North Sea Brent. They're trading at 117, which is interesting because it's almost at parity with the front month West Texas at this point. Both are trading almost at equal prices. Just shows the demand for delivery. That's what that represents really more than anything else. S&P 500, yeah, let's see what they're doing with that. We'll go in with the intraday to start off with. There's the intraday. It's down 40 points now. We looked at it before. It was like down 39. And the low today now is 31. So went down to 31 right there. About, what is that? About 9, let's say 4. Let's say it's about 22 minutes ago they went down to a low. They seem to be flirting with that area. This is the intraday. Then let's take a look at the daily. And there's the daily. You can see it's trying to move down towards the lows of its day. It's breaking the daily at the moment. Remember, the markets are not open here in the States whatsoever. So we're actually down below the zero line, minus 13.5. The weekly is holding up pretty well, plus 29.90. Was just 30. Now it's 30 again. Now it's 29.90 again. It's still holding up very well in there on the weekly. And it looks like it will close into the weekly buy unless they really smack this thing down 80 or 90 points today. They double the selling. All right. From there, we jump over to natural gas. Let's see what the S&P looks like on here, too, at the same time. There it is right there. There you go. You can see it's trying to perk up also. It's got two green bars there, and but the green line is underneath, so it's it's showing the same pressure we see on ours, where the green line is moving down. Let's jump over to Nat Gas. There's Nat Gas. You can see it's fell into the sell yesterday, kind of bouncing around, made it low, and now it's a little bit higher. It's a little plus for the day. The weekly, it's been in a weekly buy now since January. So they've been, it was trading at under $4 a cubic foot. Now it's trading at almost $9, and been in a buy for 4 solid months. February, March, April, May, 4 solid months, because it was in late January it went into the buy. Now we'll jump over to the metals complex. Let's take a look at silver. There's silver. Just down a little bit for the day. And you can see the weekly still not through the buy there. Let's put silver up over here. There it is right there. It's trying to make some type of move up. We just don't understand how it can trade that much discounted, but it does. And I guess, in the end, I do think that the metals are going to start to get. I believe we're going to see incredible amount of winners on the Republican side. And from that, I think they're going to straighten out this Fed Reserve and stop it from disrupting the this whole process. Price discovery has really taken it on the chin. It's made it very, very hard to appreciate fundamentals anymore. I mean, they've really pushed our fundamentals out the door, and it's really disappointing because the world kind of follows the fundamentals on some form. So they're just hoping a wing and a prayer type of thing. Let's see. From there, let's take a look and see at copper. Copper roared yesterday. There was some anticipation of, it went into the buy there yesterday. It was big candle. I'm not sure why it's like that. We'll have to go fix that again. See if we adjust. No, it didn't shift it there either. And it's all screwed up. Let's show you what it looked like this morning when we sent it out. Alrighty, let's just show you. Right there. That's yesterday's move. And pushed the weekly up. Everything looks pretty firm in there. And let's see, where's it at now? It was at 453 this morning. Now it's at 451. Or is it $4.53? Now it's at $4.51. Only 2 cents down. There was, I guess, some type of anticipation that we were seeing some type of, really exciting move on the, the employment and industrial, like a sign showing that we're going to get some type of growth. Where I agree with Metho. Hey Metho, about stagflation. We're in stagflation now. That's where we are. Metho 2000, cool. And that is where the markets and the economy are. So a lot of times, what happens with markets is that they like to anticipate. And so the moment that they think we're in a recession, they start to try to find a way to buy. It's the buy on rumor, sell on news. And that's the way it really works all the time. It's really, classic. It's just the nature of markets is to play that fundamental, not the fundamental, but the buy rumor, sell news. All right. Now, from there, we'll go to platinum. I think it's just like in a buy again for like, and playing with the weekly buy too. Let's see what platinum's doing. It was over $1,000 yesterday. Okay, it's $1,033 today. We've been in a weekly buy for 2 weeks since here, and been in a daily buy since here. So we've caught in this whole ride there from the 950 up to almost 1,033. It's been an interesting pop. We missed it by literally a few cents right there. It closed at minus 0.68 cents. Almost, we were flirting with that buy too for days. It kept on touching it, getting back out. I thought for sure we were going to see it close on a buying note, but it didn't in the end. All right, from there, that kind of completes it with the metals complex. So we can slip over again to the stock market. You see the S&P 500 right there. down 43. Now it's 42.50. Did it make a new low? No, low is 130.75, still there. And the U.S. market opens in a little better than 5 minutes. Now Tech 100 has done the same thing. They made new lows there and bounced back up a little. But overall, it's down 186 points, almost 187. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average, towards its lows, trading down about 248 points, as you can see right there. So that pressure is on the stocks. It doesn't surprise me any. It makes total sense. We'll see if they try to nibble at it. I'm not sure if the rhythm has been changed. I kind of thought that they wanted to try to push it up a little bit more so they could sell it. But it seems to have stalled here. But it's going to be another... Let's go look at it on a daily chart. I believe all three indexes are up for the week. So there is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And Friday, there's Friday. It closed at 33,158. The high today is 33,317. So they were just hanging out just above it. And it looks like now they're trying to put it down and make it a minus for the week. Like we have a whole trading day still to go, so can't take this too serious. Same situation right there, is it? There's 27th. And so what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is that saying that's third when we're in the... Aren't we on the fourth or are we in the third? Yeah, we are on the third. Okay. That's right. We were closed on Monday. I keep on forgetting that. We were closed on Monday. Let's just go back and look at... This is below the Friday close. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average are just above the Friday close. There's the Friday close at that 33,158. And it's just the... So right now it's at... No, it's below it too. So that is also below it. Let's see what the Tech 100 looks like out of all this. Tech 100 pretty much hanging around there. The close on Friday was 677. Right now we're at 696. So that's just a little bit above. So that means money is coming in and nibbling when they start buying the tech stocks. We have about 3 minutes. Less than 2.5 minutes to the New York Open. We'll see what they do with that. Anyhow, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all on Monday. It's been a real lazy Friday webinar, but we tried to hit everything and answer anybody's questions. So, we'll just see how they treat this market over this whole trading day of the next 6.5 hours. So, everybody have a safe and smart weekend. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, have a safe and successful day.